Hello and welcome to Finextra. I'm Thea George and I'm here with Bruno Cambounet of Axway. We're at EBA Day 2016 in Milan and we're discussing PSD2. Bruno, thank you for joining me. So, to what extent do you think PSD2 is driving innovation in digital business?
Thank you very much and hi. Actually, PSD2 has not driven innovation because it has been more regulation that came on top of existing innovative initiatives such as Orchestration in Germany. The idea of the PSD2 has been first to prevent the risk for end consumer as well as for bank, but more targeted to end consumers in order to protect them in payment. That's the payment initiative stuff. At the same time, what is very interesting with the PSD2 is that it had been opening the access to bank account and opening it through the access to a part of a regulation. So this part is really more innovative than the first part.
Okay. And do you think the financial services industry is ready to apply and to leverage this regulation?
That's an interesting question because actually it depends. If we see as of today, if you look at the different countries in Europe, in UK obviously the banks and financial institutions are really moving fast in order to leverage this PSD2 initiative and even to go beyond in order to be innovative and to provide to the market, generally speaking, to various industries, all the power of PSD2. If you look at other countries, that's different. It's more like how to be compliant in order to comply to the rule, but going beyond, not that easy. The other thing I would like to mention is when you discuss with US banks, for example, or outside of PSD or SEPA zone, it's interesting to see how these companies are looking at this really innovative approach of PSD2, and again, mostly about access to A. Obviously, standardizing the access to account through regulation is like nailing down something that would, let's say, prevent various banks to stop focusing on payments itself and go to innovation thanks to this openness. Okay, and American banks, or American generally speaking, as looking at PSD2 as really a true innovation in this big zone of SEPA zone.
So for banks, what do you think are the key success factors for them to consider when implementing PSD2?
Well, what I would say is that firstly, we need to consider that payment itself is not value proposition. It's a small step, or becoming small, into a full end-to-end process. If you think of Uber or if you think of Airbnb, whatever, the payment is embedded into the app. It's embedded into the service. What's important is the service itself. Obviously, the security around the service, the payment service, the fact that you are not going to be hijacked on your bank account is important. But the payment itself is a step, only one step. So when considering implementing PSD2, banks need to think beyond payment. They need to think about, what needs to be done in order to have this payment step, seamlessly integrated into a more general, more business-oriented business process. Okay, so it means that, there is one other thing you need to think about, and it goes together. It's the fact that the requirements are not yet there. So when thinking of the thing that the payment is only one little step into a bigger one, when thinking that this step needs to be orchestrated within an end-to-end process like Uber or any service where the payment is one step of it, you need to be able to orchestrate this payment step together with the rest. So you need to think of open APIs, but of policies of orchestrating these open APIs in something which is larger than payment. And with regards to security, back to the RTS not being ready yet, you need to think of something which is agile and flexible in terms of policies so that it can cope to strong authentication that may change over time, and to of an authorization that may change also in order to make the thing more secure, more robust, in order to ensure confidentiality. So what I would say, think beyond payment and make sure that the payment step and all what is around, like security, is fully orchestrated. It's something that from an end user perspective, it is seamless.
Bruno, that's great. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you.
And thank you for watching.